Hi, I'm Poetic Headset, and I'm here to make my first uh, vlog cast. I'm not sure yet, and I'm here to talk about a certain Dutch documentary that was talked about a couple of days ago, and it pertain a favorite. It pertains to a favorite group of mine, which is Goong Sunyo. And in this Dutch documentary, it was supposed to be its main emphasis is about the darkness, the dark side of K-pop. Now, incidentally, it wasn't supposed to be this. Uh, a lot of fans were speculating that Gong Sunyo's company, that they probably didn't accept it. That there was no way intent on it. Anyways, let's get into this. This way I could sort of explain to you exactly what was going on. Now, this is from a Twitter named Sale Cipher, and I believe it started here. Or at least a lot of the information's here, so it was the best way to get into this. So the way the tweet started here is a thread on why EWAT, and I can't really say that, a Dutch documentary about K-pop, which was disgusting and should have never aired. And then this will be another topic at a certain another time. So, and here's the second tweet is, first of all, I do believe that K-pop industry can be cruel sometimes, and we shouldn't push those issues aside. But the points that the documentary was trying to make were completely misplaced and out of context. It is supposed to be a documentary about K-pop, yet they spread half of the documentary talking about plastic surgery, scandals, and yeah. So, and here's where my issue is. So, when attending a Girls in the Park fan meet, he complained about the tight schedule. Then he went to talk about one of the girls and blatantly asked her if she had plastic surgery done. He kept pushing her while you clearly see that she feels uncomfortable. I'm not really gonna play this, and clearly I don't want to show like the sound of this. Anyways, I'm gonna show you her expression. This is clear when he asked her that question. And you could clearly tell from her expression, like she was comfortable, And the question that he asked her was, did you do plastic surgery? Did you do plastic surgery? I mean, literally, that was his question, And look, she clearly smiled. And yeah, that's the guy right there. And she just does the sign, She just does the no, like she doesn't want to answer, or it's no and we don't. Clearly it was clearly that made her uncomfortable. And then, and we're gonna read the next tweet here, is that then he went back to the front of the line while the girl was already talking to a fan, which probably shortened her time with her idol, and started asking her more questions, all the while they knew they had a tight schedule because he complained about it earlier. And this one, clearly this one, he asked her about scandals. Elena, a very intellectual idol, gives a very good, strong response, and somewhat straightforward. Where she kind of says that they don't have a phone, that they don't really look into this, it's not really researched. I mean, this. And then the thread goes on to talk about how they clearly were disrespectful of Jung Young's. I'm not even gonna get into the thing. That's another topic itself. And kind clearly shows that sort of horrible incident. Yeah. Clearly that was not good. So at this point, when I saw this, when I saw this, I saw this tweets. I was skeptic. When I actually seen it, I actually saw it through Facebook, and they're like, "You got to read this. There's a protect Gung Sunyo hashtag going on." I was like, "Okay, what is this? What's going on? Like something happened? What is this?" And my first response was upset. I was like, "Oh my gosh, like really? Like you had to do this to them?" You clearly had to like this. Like I was like, oh my gosh, really? And Leno, which you saw earlier, literally that's like my favorite. It's like my favorite idol right now. And I was, I was gasping. I was like, I was so mad. I was so, and part of me is like, I wanted to say something. I wanted to type something, and a lot of these people in Twitter, a lot of the Gung Sung fans, Grus, they took it upon themselves to message Kiwi Pop and message the RTL5 and clearly show their displeasure of seeing these clips. I mean, this is in Dutch. I don't know how many people was gonna see this. It probably is a lot of people, one country. I don't know if it was gonna go worldwide, but the thing here is that it aired. And a lot of fans were questioning, like, how in the world did Kiwi Pop let this through? Did he, for me it was, did they even let this happen? Did they know it was gonna happen? Like, how did they get the camera in there? Was it legal to get in there? Of course, part of us were like, they did know. They know that there was gonna be a documentary. Did they know that these were the questions I was gonna ask? It was up to Arm, it was up to question, a lot of us were just upset. We just wanted to know the answers at this point, and kind of like saying, well, really, like, how, like, they dropped the ball here. Anyways, I think the next day, Kiwi Pop did give their statement out, to explain what happened. And I'm gonna show it to you. So here's the statement that they gave out. One is in Korean Hangul and one is in English. Of course, since Gung Sunyo's fandom is very is such an international base, I could say. And I'll read it to you exactly what it said here. Hello, this is Kiwi Pop. This is our official statement regarding the Gung Sunyo related video that was sent out yesterday by the Dutch broadcasting companies RTL Netherlands and Videoland through a documentary named Ewat and the Tough K-Pop World. Initially, during the casting process, we were informed that it would be a documentary regarding K-pop idols and that a reputable broadcasting company wanted to illustrate the K-pop rising star Go Eun-seung's activities. So we agreed. However, while capturing Go Eun-seung's fan sign, they entered the event without obtaining any permission from our staffs and interviewed Go Eun-seung with rude questions, which we had to stop. Later, they had agreed that they would edit out certain scenes containing the interviews, staffs, and fans, and that they would finalize the edits concerning scenes with Go Eun-seung upon our consent. However, it has been verified that they broadcast the program without contacting us beforehand for any kind of consent, confirmation, agreement, or permission. What's more, we found that the program had been distorted and deviated from the initial intent that we had been informed of, and it is very much regrettable that Go Eun-seung's image has been damaged due to it. Currently, we're trying to get in touch with the Dutch companies and the production team to gather the details and the specifics, and we will notify everyone once we had able to communicate with them. We sincerely apologize to Going Sunya fans, Gruz, which is the fandom, who are alarmed by this incident, and we promise pursue the future activities with more caution. Thank you. I'm a bit biased, I'm a bit happy that Kiwi Pop was quick to create a statement, to give a statement. Especially right now during that day, the 16th, I believe, the girls went and traveled to Japan. So they're gonna start their Japanese promotions. I'm sorry, and they had time to actually create the statement and give it out to the fans and to the people, of course. I'm a bit happy about this. Now we actually have a context. Now we know. Like at least one side. That Kiwi Pop actually knew that this was that there was going to be a documentary, and just reading from the statement that was given to them that was given. Sorry. That the questions that they had was never vetted. They never gave the questions to the staff and said, "Hey, is this okay to ask these questions to the girls?" Was it okay to ask these questions to the fans, to the to anyone in that incident? And number two, it seems like this is a bit my thing here, that they actually barged in, but they said they had permission. And so the staff sort of said, okay, they had permission, we're gonna let them through, and RTL5 is RTL overall is a big company and broadcasting company, so they had some sort of track record in that sense. But of course, they asked those really horrible questions. Oh, I wouldn't say horrible. Disrespectful is a better way to say it. And that's what it was. It was just rather disrespectful. Yeah. Now for me, I was happy, but I was like, okay, hopefully this will not happen again. And for Kiwi Pop, this is the lesson to be learned. I feel like they're going to be more cautious with any company. I mean, RTL5 is a big company, so they're going to be very cautious with any sort of promotions or any material of questioning. They're going to vet it out this time. They're going to make sure it goes through proper channels and such. Of course, this doesn't end here, people have been waiting for what RTL5 is going to respond with. They're going to be like, are they going to apologize? Are they going to be very, concerning? But like, okay, we're a bit wrong here. I'm sorry, or we're sorry. Anyways, today, in another person's thread in Twitter, they did issue. I guess you could say this is somewhat their official response because it's their Twitter, and anything you say on your Twitter is a bit official. And I'll show it to you. Okay, so RTL5, this is the way you respond. We would like to emphasize that Ewat and his team were given permission for the interviews. There was never an intention to offend the people of this community, but rather to paint a picture of extreme measures that are taken in this community. Okay. That is rather disingenuous, rather this is clearly not an apology. They didn't say I'm sorry. They're like, okay, we didn't mean to do it, but yeah, we're gonna do that. What's worse about this thing is that they did it. They did it in their home country. They did it in Korea. They did it in their own home turf. in their own house, and they did it in a very happy environment. These girls were happy. It hurts me a little bit inside. It hurts me that like Minju is so happy to see their fans. And usually they only have like 1 month of promotion, so they clearly only see their fans for just some time, and for them to take the time from the fans and from them to have these good memories and to good times, to be thrown these questions of do you do plastic surgery, do you you have anything worried about scandals, take time from these fans and like really like I can't really put it into words just how bad this was. RTL5, they clearly were being disrespectful. They were clearly offending. They not only offended this group, not offended these idols. They clearly offended this genre, this community, this music industry, and to do it in such a offending way by being forceful about it, and not actually doing it through proper channels, and actually find ways to actually get the right people, and get the documentary the right way. So not only did they do that, they also diminish the documentary, and the theme of what they were meant to actually show here, by being disingenuous and being disrespectful to this company, to this group, to these girls. Especially in a public environment, you're gonna ask them all these questions. It's just ridiculous. Okay. What would have been the better incident? What would have been the better way for them to approach this? Well, by first actually giving them the truth of what there's documentary about, giving the questions to the proper staffs, and actually giving them, Would have this made it a little bit better? I think it would have made it a little bit better. It's still disgusting, still horrible, still bad. But they were being disrespectful to everyone out there, Anyways, that's all I can say about this. Yeah. Anyways, this is Poetic Headset. Signing out. Anyways, yes. Peace, soul, and love, and have a wonderful